And so, it is now time for us to go ahead and take on the next quest associated with this series of challenges. So let's go ahead and speak with Lilia again to take on our next quest, entitled The Bozia Incident. The Ironworks engineer is confused as to why you are still here and not at the Domin Enclave.
The chief said he'd meet you at the Domin Enclave, didn't he? Well, best not to keep him waiting.
You got it. So, back to the Enclave. So let's go and head on over there. Speak with the pilot and let him know that we're ready to meet up with Sid.
Master Garland. Yes, I've seen him restlessly pacing about the Enclave. If you wait here, I'm sure he'll come by before long.
And speaking of which, there he is. Hey there, Sid. Yeah, let's have a gainer at the 100% completed Enclave. It's hard to believe this place was, until recently, occupied by the Gallians. Doma has a long way to go before it regains its former glory, but they're off to a good start. Indeed they are. But here's why I need to speak to you.
So I've heard. If the Bosnians wish to follow the Domin's lead, I plan to do what I can to help them.
And so, in fact, I've already spoken to Lord Hien and agreed to divert part of the Ironworks resources to assist in Domin's reconstruction. The offer seemed to have taken him by surprise, but I assured him that in addition to the Ironworks' commitment to freedom through technology, I have my own reasons to reverse the destruction wrought by the Empire. While it's true that I eventually defected, I played no small part in the development of Magitech now used by their military. Sometimes it's the threads that you can't see that have the strongest ties. Would that I could cut them. Yeah, and how did Lord Hien take your response? Or the Empire's sins aren't yours to bear? Like, yeah, you don't have to shoulder that burden. Even so, not a day goes by that I don't think about the part I played in the atrocities they committed. If I could have made my father see reason, there would have been no Bozia incident. But I was powerless to stop him. It's like, come on, Sid. Now's not the time for that.
Yes, you're right. There's a time for wallowing in self-pity and a time for action. I plan to do whatever I can for the Bozian resistance, but they're up against the 4th Legion. If they're to stand a chance, their allies here in the Far East won't be enough. They're going to need all the help they can muster.
And that's where we come in.
I'm not entirely sure what part I'll have to play in all this, and I doubt anything I do now will be enough to atone for my past mistakes. But if it means throwing a spanner in the Empire's works, then count me in.
Thanks, Sid. Alright there, Mr. Pilot. Take us away. Alright, we've returned. So yeah, Makoto's in around here somewhere. Go and speak with her. Upon speaking with Makoto, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Proceed? Yes. And so, here comes Sid. Well, at least they're kind enough to pay respects. Yeah, basically Sid's like, I'm sorry for your loss. So Makoto will explain to Sid why exactly he's here. Yeah, so it is a pretty extensive description, and she ends up going a bit over Sid's head as well. But sometime later, we lay down Sid on the same table that Geralt was on.
If you're ready, I will begin our exploration. Think back to your time at Bozia Citadel. You needn't focus on a specific memory if that helps.
Alright, just promise me you'll be careful in there. And so, away we go. Time to once again put Mikoto's skills to the test. So let's bring out the fancy crystal. And concentrate, you three. The crystal lights up. And what are we going to be taking a look at? It fades to black. And then before long, we'll see where we ended up. Also, sorry for the spoilers. But I can't control that, that's just how the log window works. Alright, so this is where we ended up. This is Bozia Citadel, right? At least I think it was. Was everything that was so distorted when we tested this before? Your recollection of this place appears grossly incomplete. Yeah, well, I'd rather not stand around laboring over details. Let's look for the transmission tower in the Principia. And now it's time for us to dress for battle. Of course, since we're over in the source, we're wearing our blue Dragoon armor. Yeah, do you see that? A military beast appeared out of thin air. Out of my mind, I suppose. What in the world? The road, it just ends! A consequence of your incomplete memories? You have to think back, Sid. Where does this road lead? Yeah, and you can see the scenery of Bozia itself as we're going along. And all the fancy constellations, quote-unquote, that are appearing all around us, too. We have to speak with Sid directly in order to continue on. This all seems so absurd. Recalling the Citadel shouldn't be so difficult. Try recalling the cityscape, or do you remember where the Imperial troops were heading? Not specifically, no, but they were on edge. Something to do with the Academy's research. Well, try recalling the cityscape then. I remember the blue of the cobblestone streets. If not for the occasional military installation, it would have looked like any other city. Wait, I remember. When it does, way forward opens. You've done it, Sid! The road has returned! We should be able to reach the Principia if we keep heading north. Yeah, I should have switched over to Sid's voice over there. Make your way to the transmission tower now. Look, there's the transmission tower. Yeah, get a load of this thing. Oh, crap, I'm losing control of my controller. Yeah, there it is. Get a load of this thing. Heck, even Belsar's wall makes a cameo. Sorry, Shinji, try as I might, my mind is drawing a blank. Maybe there's something around here that might jog my memory. And we can't go any further. A psychological stimulus to protect Pump's recollection. That just won't work. Also, I realized, yeah, the one thing over there is not what I need. It's actually over here. You find the smoldering remnants of Magitech armor, no doubt left after a fierce battle. Oh, I have to touch them both. Yeah, when I did this, when I was testing this morning, I thought, oh, maybe I only have to touch one thing. You find a pile of well-worn blades and shields, though not of Imperial design. Okay, yeah, that forces continuation. And for some reason I thought I only had to interact with one item. Weapons and Magitech armor. Right. The fighting had already started, and I was... Well... What else? Let us press onward! So now continuing on. And now the music's going away. Why, you may ask? The tension in the air is palpable! Yeah, they did mention that there was fighting going on. Oh, right. The soldiers were on high alert that day.
The Bosian resistance had infiltrated the Citadel to stop the Academy's experiments. And here's them coming to blows. Do you suppose it's possible we can tamper with this memory? Yeah, you don't want to be you want to be recollecting this. Yeah. Let's pick a fight with these Guardians. Also, something that's really weird. In other circumstances, the Equus wields a spear, but in this case they're wielding a bow and arrow. Which is really strange. Also, since Sid and Makoto are fighting with you... Oh, I guess I can't do that yet. Yeah. Since Sid and Makoto are fighting with you, you can actually use your... If you're on Dragoon, you can use your Dragon Sight to team up with them. Problem is, the soldiers just get right back up. Pick up right where they left off. Yeah, it's not that simple to take these guys down. The memory appears to be mending itself? Interesting. All three memories is easier said than done, it seems. Well, let's keep going. Yeah, let's have these guys continue on unabated. Damn it, I'm losing control of my controller again! What's going on here? Yeah, we also see that we're coming to a stop, but there's a reason for that. This is the transmission tower, the Principia. And we're getting pulled in to this. What in the seven hells are these? Could they be a manifestation of your subconscious? They like to suppress your memories of the Citadel. Meaning they intend to purge us from your mind, we cannot let them! Yeah, so now we have to fight all these things. Thank you for watching that. Yeah, I gotta stack them all up here. Take them as quickly as possible. Problem is, there's more of them. Yeah, we have to hold on here, so we have to do 2 rounds! Not only that, we now have to deal with new threats. Well, here there, Sid. Latch on to me. I got your back, man. Yeah, he can fight in this situation, so it is not a bad idea to team up with him here. Problem is, we got more crap incoming. Oh, Makoto, step aside. Oh, hold on. Don't touch that dial. Yeah, you are not doing that a third time. So as they deliberate about this further, we're nearly to the tower. Alright, onward. Yeah, because you know more crap is coming. Just a little further. Yeah, right to a purple line. And we know what happens when we see a purple line on a field of battle. Time for some music from the Rising, because Dalamud is now activated. And Bahamut is emerging from it. He's now standing in our way, and we gotta beat him too. This must be another attempt by your subconscious to stop us. You have to pull yourself together, Sid. Are we sure I'm not suffering from a sudden onset of psychosis? We're about to find out. Away we go. Yeah, thing is, in this situation, Sid is going to get wiped out early. So it'll just be Makoto and I fighting the rest of the way. Watch out for that flare breath. Now I will mention earlier that I died in testing earlier today to this move because Flatten, you think it just looks like a regular attack, but then he immediately follows up with a 3-pronged layer of AoE. That caught me off guard because I was not expecting it because it came right after and there was no way I could escape from it. And so I had to start this fight over again. Also, because of it, I should let you know, in this situation, if you die at any point during the course of this experience, you are allowed to have the option to restart from this fight and not have to go back to the beginning of it. Yeah, you don't have to go back to the very beginning if you don't want to. You can if you want, but you do have the option to pick up from here if you desire. Also, I should have offered Makoto a little of this. Okay, now we got lots of crazy AoE. Dodging it is pretty tricky though. Yeah, that is a ton of AoE. Something you would normally expect in an extreme battle. And I can't sprint from this. At least not yet. But what I really want to. And now he's got rotational AoE. Next move, Makoto is sprung up to follow it on. Makoto use this. Now if I can just get back on Bahamut himself. Yeah, Sid won't take any further damage from the fight from this point forward. Ooh, 46,000. Alright, get ready for triple layered AoE. That, even with a single prong, unless you have sprint, that is tough to avoid. We do have down to his last 10. And there we go. We got it. All is right with the world again. Thank you, I feel better now. Glad you are. Perhaps your subconscious will be more forthcoming with the truth of this memory. Let's hope you're right. Away we go. So with all that behind us, what will we see as we enter the tower?
Is that Sid? Do you recall this happening?
Yeah, we're about to have a confrontation of sorts. Father was so angry that day, he says.
Father, please, if you would just look over this data!
Which is, Father says no. Enough, damn you! The next time you question me, it shall be your lost. Now leave!
You of all people should understand the risks. Why do you refuse to see reason?
Yeah, he just can't get through to his dad. His father will not come to overlook data, no matter the source.
Look here! He left behind his research documentation.
Discarded documents. Let's have a look. You pick up the research documents and find page after page of meticulous calculations and observational data on Dalamu, young Sid posits that the lesser moon may very well possess the ability to harness and manipulate solar power. Moreover, the vast stores of energy it has amassed over the millennia, should they be unleashed, would far exceed any parameters the transmission towers may have been designed to withstand.
Had they got this data, the Empire would avoid a calamity!
Wish they did. So many sleepless nights spent with those damn papers all for nothing.
If my suspicions are correct, never mind, let us press on, the truth awaits us!
Yeah, now we gotta go into the main area, to the control panels. And we once again breach another purple line. And we do see the replicas of Gunhilder's blades. But that's not all we're going to be seeing. So as we have a look at this area, yeah, it's just one artifact on display. One of many. And so now, we see the remedy of Sid. Know your place, whelp. The Meteor Project cannot, will not be stopped. Certainly not by the likes of you. Yeah, and so, young Sid's frustrated at the Emperor. He's like, can you please at least listen to me? No, this is all wrong. Emperor Sodas couldn't have been there. What do you mean? Uh-oh. Yeah, something's wrong here. And then he pulls out a gun, takes a shot. It goes by young Sid and hits old Sid. That's how desperate he was willing to go. That he was willing to fire a warning shot at Sid, but he ended up hitting the older version. No, please! Lord Varus, no! Yeah, remember what we saw earlier? Yeah, you're now getting to see it firsthand.
Sid, you mustn't forget, this is only a memory!
But what do? The guy's wounded and bleeding from his mouth. And then all of a sudden... Yeah, young Sid's the one lying there. And old Sid somehow is just fine. How'd that happen? It's like, oh man. Yeah, Sid is not happy about this. Especially since Varus now has an upgrade. Sid Garland, bringer of ruin, herald of Ash. Your father must be proud. Well, we're not. At least not of you saying those things. How does it feel to know such calamity follows in your wake? That your failings bring death to all you hold dear? Yeah, Sid is really having a hard time keeping it together. It's like, let me handle them. Yeah, you need to recover. We got this. And now you would set this filth against me. Very well. Yeah, you know how those high-ranking members of the Guardian royal family always seem to have upgrades. But one fate awaits those who oppose the will of the Empire. Yeah, we're gonna get pushed back here. And Makoto's doing everything she can to stand her ground.
This troubles too much! He's lost control! But this memory is false, Shinji! Perhaps we can alter it with the echo!
Well, we would do that. Think of your truest friends, or think of your strongest allies. Yeah, considering we're getting a pushback here.
We need to find a way to push back. And so, suddenly out of nowhere, yeah, you're not seeing things. Those are the Scions, and Green joining us too. How they come from the source? Yeah, we didn't bring them here through the way that the Crystal Exarch was trying to. That was always your greatest strength. Instilling in others the courage to rise up. The courage to fight for what's right. Well, even then, we're still fighting them in a dream sequence. Yeah. We get a confrontation against Dream Sequence Faras. And we have, of all people assisting us, visions of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and every single one of us, and Makoto, and Green, are involved too. And there's also a barrier that we cannot touch. So away we go. So this is how we open. And it's gonna put stuff behind us. This warning shot of what's to come. You gotta watch your back as well. Yeah, and this was before he actually became Emperor, because he doesn't have the Zos title, he has the J title, meaning he was still a prince at this time. Yeah, thank great offerings to the tank force because he's on the Gunbreaker roll. Yeah, watch out, that's gonna hurt. And it's double layered. This means I get to pretty much hit him unobstructed. Also, I am throwing a lot of critical hits, which is good. We need them. We need all the critical hits we can possibly get. Now he goes and does a reverse of what he did earlier. He says I tire of these games. Which is why, yeah, he's now gaining a little altitude. And he's gonna try to do an X marks the spot on us. I can take the brunt of it, but I'll need a little help. You certainly will. There'll be not left of you but Ash, he says. Oriology provides us with a barrier. We're waiting for this thing to be made vulnerable to attack. Now, go. Everything you got there, guys. And there we go. Suffered some damage, but it's not fatal. Away we go again. Get out of the way of that. Let's do this again. He says to mount our heads upon our wall, upon his wall. Also stay clear of that so they don't get knocked back into a place you shouldn't be standing in. Speaking of which. Yeah, Ishtola is the most awkward person here for this battle. I mean, you can get the others, but not as well. Now we'll go for another big charge again. That's this short AoE. Although there's not really much of a point for it. We do need to spread out here so that we're not dying or killing anyone else. And we're clear. Not yet, we still have to get to the last 10%. Dive bomb on your head. Yeah, his last hurrah. Gets that up.
I shall protect you.
But that's all he'll do. Yes, the Scion saved the day. In an unexpected way. And so, after our victory, hit the ground, Varus. Yeah, so as we stare at him, this isn't right either. Emperor, Lord Varus, he wasn't there. The Academy was given full charge of the project. So what's going on?
Though these events are as you remember them, this is not the truth. Not entirely. Whoever this is, your mind has been trying to protect you from them.
So what are we looking at? Well, now thin air, but then... Yeah, he's back on his feet still. He's like, oh man. But then we realize, yeah, we're getting to see the tape being rewound. For an instant replay, as it were. Yeah. Bullet goes back into the gun. Yeah. Don't stand behind him this time there, Sid. Unless you want a repeat of what just happened. Yeah, and Sid's like, yeah, I'm just walking by my younger self, because these two are frozen in place. Well, if it isn't Forrest, then who the hell is it? What could I have possibly hide from myself? I don't know, but Forrest is really tall. But then... Yeah. That wasn't Forrest. That's his dad. So it was you who pulled the trigger. Father. Yep. Turned it against his own son.
See, look! His eyes!
What about them? Yeah, that's pretty creepy. As to two of his eyes, not his third. No, it can't be. Yeah, by this point he was already possessed. Like, dude. This is what he was already like.
If contact with Dalamun was able to stir Bahamut to consciousness, it stands to reason the Dreadworm discovered a way to link the tower, and thereby enslave your father. In which case, there was nothing that could be done for him. There is no arguing or reasoning with such individuals. There's only the will of the Primal.
Yeah, heartbreak.
And if Bahamut was controlling your father at the time of the accident...
Yeah, you know what that means, right? Then in all likelihood, it wasn't an accident. That's right. At least we've helped to put this fear to rest, and so the truth finally comes to light. Yeah, you stare into your father's eyes, or what's left of them. He was already a lost cause. And he was already too far gone. And so, when it was all said and done, Mikoto lets the resistance know what went down. And they couldn't be happier. Sid, though, still has a lot to think about. Bahamut's thrall and no one was the wiser. Not even your own son. Yeah, and he gets to take a look at his necklace for a while. So after he gets back on his feet... You crazy bastards did it! Once Mikoto described the inscriptions to me, I'll have those 4 weapons forged in no time. On behalf of the Boson Resistance, you have my deepest thanks. Glad we could be of service. I'm just glad I could help. Ever since that fateful day, the truth of what befell our loved ones had eluded us. I held the Empire and your father up responsible for their part in the tragedy, and for many years that hatred was all that kept me going. Indeed, I was blinded by that hatred, so much so that you even appeared to me as an enemy. I could not see the blood, sweat, and tears you had poured into bettering the lives of those seeking freedom from the Empire. I could see only a Guardian, and for that I am sorry. At least we buy you around there, Whiskers. If you can forgive me, let us be allies united against a common foe. Come now, I'm the one who should apologize to you. After all, my father and the Empire did, even if not all of their own volition. Their crimes will never be forgotten. I'd even hazard even victory over the Empire won't be enough to ease such pain. And even now that I know the truth behind the Bozar incident, all it's done is make me question the choices that led me here to this moment. But you have clarity now, right? But regardless of the past, we have to keep pressing forward one step at a time. For freedom. Just as the heroes of Eld would have done. We Bozons grew up on such tales of peerless warriors, pure of heart and unwavering in their conviction. Yet here we are, still full of doubt and uncertainty. Will we ever earn our place in the pages of history? Sure, Bossian. If we live long enough, perhaps we'll be the ones to pen them. Yeah, I think we can all smile about that. So, sometime later... You say the crystal focus is no longer responsive? Uh-oh. We used all of it?
It would appear what stores of ether resided within it have been depleted. I did not expect our exploration of your mind to be such a taxing endeavor. Once I identify its etheric affinity and a power source with a compliant energy frequency, I'm confident its reserves can be replenished.
I thought perhaps the Alliance could use it to extract information from some of the less cooperative Guardian captives, but nothing's ever that easy, is it? Well, maybe that time will come. I'm afraid etherology is beyond the scope of my expertise, so I'll leave the rest to you. If you need anything, don't hesitate to call for me.
Thank you for all your help, Master Sid.
Well, I better head back. I have a mountain of work waiting for me. Yeah, a mountain of work that Jesse keeps dumping onto you.
Before you go...
Yeah, what's up? Say it, Makoto.
If you ever feel lost, you can always talk to me.
Of course. If I run into any ether-related problems, you'll be the first to know. I don't think that's quite what she meant. As Mikoto expresses her, disappointment at the misinterpretation.
But I really must get to work on the crystal focus.
Yeah, better get at it. So yeah, we'll have to speak with Marasak to complete this particular quest, but we're not quite done yet. There's still some stuff left to do before we can call it good over here. So once Marasak returns, we will go ahead and speak with him. There he is. Everything is at last in place to begin work on the weapons of Queen Gunhilda's guard. Master Geralt will be able to apprise you of any further progress in their forging. In the meantime, we will begin preparations for battle. I look forward to seeing you on the front lines. And so with that, for completing this quest, we get 3,734 gil. Returning to all the Aethernet shards of the Dome and Enclave will now unlock Gangos as an Aethernet destination, which I still need to do once I get this all said and done. Because yeah, I haven't officially attuned Shinji to all the Aetherites in Doma. Meanwhile, at Valnain in Dalmasca, in occupation territory, people who we saw during the Zodiac Wave story are once again making an appearance. Yeah, more expect the unexpected stuff coming around. Our spies at the Gangnos encampment have been confirmed our work on the blades of Gunhilda is underway. Yeah. Hey there, Gabranth. They are welcome to them. Who has need of such trinkets when the Lady of Blades will soon be in play? We'll proceed as planned. When the forces reach Bozia, you know what must be done. Understood. The Empire is fated to fall, but in its place a new nation shall rise grander and mightier than anything the Gullings could have ever dreamed. And you're the man who seeks to lead it? And it shall be made possible by the very power they abhor. So we know we've already acquired Construct 8 from the second part of the 24-player raid, Read Around a Lighthouse. But yeah, on the Edge of Memory, Save the Queen, Chapter the 1st. So yeah, this task is not quite over yet. At least, not in the present time. We'll have to wait until another time for that to come around. And we are in the achievement Sidception, which, pretty much if you've been paying attention to the log window, has been spoiling that for a while now. No less than an hour and a half. So yeah, more precursors to what's to come. Before we go over to where Geralt is, as you'll notice, someone else has come around. More Blast from the Past, in the Wandering Dramaturge, who really had a penchant for bacon bread. So why is he here? Shinji! My, that I should find you here of all places! Though I suppose that's only right, considering I followed you. My well of inspiration has run dry, you see, and it is my hope that a change of scenery might offer the impetus my work requires. And time and again you have proven a knack for finding fascinating locales with equally fascinating stories unfolding soon after. When such a tale finally does unfold, I should very much like to hear it. Well, why don't I tell you about this? Yeah, give him details on Varus the Prince. Battle fought in the mind of a dear companion. How thrilling, how compelling. Please tell me more. Of course I can. Here's what you need to know. A spectre of the late Emperor Varus. I suppose even a figment of one's memory, assuming sufficient creative liberties are taken, can prove as fearsome as a man of flesh and blood. Admittedly, I cannot claim to have witnessed his past firsthand, but who has not heard tales of his savagery, his unparalleled might? Yes, I do believe inspiration has struck, my friend. The brutal battle of words which preceded a nightmarish clash twixt the Emperor and the realm's greatest liberator.
You would dare approach me thus, Lord Boris scoffed. Where men of greater strength and mind would both flee, you would dare to commit such folly. To which the Liberator coolly replied, how else am I to smite thee, save, approaching... Looks like you hit writer's block again. An admirable attempt if I was still learning my letters, perhaps. It seems my prose yet wants for inspiration. Might you humor me with a more detailed account of your confrontation? I require a more vivid picture if I'm to do justice to your deeds. Very well then. So, he will have the opportunity to learn more, and we unlock Memoria Misera. Items earned in Memoria Misera can be exchanged for gear and other items by speaking with Santana in Revenant's Toll. Yeah, more goodies to take on if you wanted to get a new, enhanced version of Prince Boris. But for now, let's go ahead and over and speak with Geralt. And we'll go ahead and take on his quest. You're here, good. Ready to get working on the resistance weapons, lad? Please note that upon completing the quest Fire in the Forge, you will receive a resistance weapon for a Dragoon. So, yeah, undertake this quest as another job or as a Dragoon. Meaning, that we can do this as many times as we want, as long as we have level 80s, plus some additional items too. Let's undertake this quest as a Dragoon, and take on the quest entitled Fire in the Forge. Geralt looks ready to fire up his forge. Lock the name of resistance weapon. It crossed my mind to call him Gunhilda's Blades, but after talking with Messiah, we figured it'd be too confusing seeing that that's also the name of the Queen's Garb. Anyway, your timing couldn't be better. Before we get to working in earnest, I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what went on Sid's Morgan. I've heard a fair bit from Makota, but I'd like to know if you saw any different. And so he goes and explains to Geralt. Sounds like I was right to ask before it's set to work. Seems to me those fancy markings to weapons are mainly for show. I can copy them on, but that won't be enough. Like as not, they were carved into the hilts as well. And to make sure the spell can take hold, you'll need a finish with fine powder as conductor to aether. For material like that, I reckon you need to consult the alchemist of Razat Han, and I can only think of one person with close contacts there. Yeah, Rowena, or oh gods, you don't mean... yeah, we're gonna make you suffer some more. Oh, the demon is a coin. But not to worry, lad, it just so happens she's been keeping up a steady shipment of supplies here on contract. If we say we need the powder for the resistance, we might be able to convince her to weigh the costs. Do you think we can? She ain't usually one to do business by charity, I know, but it's worth a try, eh? I'll see about getting in touch with her, and after I do, you can go and meet her and figure out the rest. Alright. Well, you don't expect me to go with her, do you? Working on the resistance weapons kept me too busy by half, and Drake here, what was your name again? Zlatan, Master Geralt. My name is Zlatan. Yeah, as in the legendary Swedish soccer player from 10 years ago. But more importantly, what if Mistress Rowena doesn't agree to a charitable contribution to our cause? I'm sure if you and Bosse and ask her nicely, she might come around, but never mind that, we have important work to do. As for where to find Rowena, before she left Gongos, she said she'd be stopping over in Kugani on business. I thought I'd have you meet her at the Umineko tea house. If you're lucky, a nice cup of tea might brighten the mood. And so we'll go ahead and do that. So now, Resistance Weapons, the saga of Gunhilda's Blades is officially underway. So we'll go ahead and meet up with her at the tea house, but of course we need to make sure we can get back successfully, so we'll head to the enclave first to unlock the remaining aetherites. Alright, so off we go. Yeah, this is right around where we're expected to visit her. You know, so as we chill out in the rain.
I was wondering when you'd show up. Geralt told me everything.
Yeah, hey there, Rowena. Sorry I brought you out here in this weather.
And luckily for you, my business here was at the Thavnerian consulate. Here you are. This should be enough powder for one of those resistance weapons you're forging.
I appreciate that, thank you.
I've got to hand it to Geralt. Seems he spends half his time getting deeper in debt and the other half avoiding payment. Fine by me though, thanks to his scheming I have a little more leverage over the resistance and by extension him as well.
Yeah, you're just eating it up, aren't you?
Pass along a message to Geralt and Bossian for me, won't you? If they require more material for these weapons, I'd be more than happy to supply them. For a fee, of course. Same goes for you. I know you avenging types are always looking to be prepared for any sort of encounter, so if you're thinking of forging another of these resistance weapons, and I suspect you are, you know where to go. I'll see to my girls in Revenant's Toll and Idleshire keep their shelves stocked. Until next time.
Yeah, until we meet again, whenever that may be. Yeah, it's like, how do I keep getting involved in this relationship? So now we gotta go back to Congos. You will be mine, Vista, one day. Alright, so upon our return, let's go ahead and speak with Geralt because he's in here somewhere. Weapons nearly finished, Shinji. Just needs a nice coating with that powder to finish the inscription. Here you go, Thavnarian scale powder. Of course she bloody found what we needed. As much as I hate fattening her purse with another man's coin, at least now we can do our part for the resistance. And so, with us bearing witness, gives the go-ahead to Zlatan. Time to do what Geralt does best. And when it's all said and done, behold! Feast your eyes on some of the finest work to date. Best of all, the inscription will react to your aether. Alright, fine weapon to rally the Bozyans. Stratsak, I reckon Gunhild will be proud. And so are we. Yeah, look how huge this thing is. That I should behold the glory of the fabled blades born anew. Hope is not yet lost. All in a day's work for the old pal Geralt. Of course, this is only the beginning. Indeed it is. Your skills with a hammer will truly a sight to behold, Master Geralt. And to see Shinji wielding one of their holy blades thus, it is as if I stand before one of the heroes of Eld. When the time comes to do battle with the Empire, our brothers in arms will look upon you and know courage. On behalf of the Bosyan Resistance, I offer you my humblest thanks for your aid thus far. Glad we can help. Hopefully in the next expansion it's just the beginning. I'll have to start fresh on another weapon, but I had to use every last morsel of the powder on that one. You know what that means? Meaning we'll have to find ourselves indebted further to Mistress Uena, were we to acquire more. I must consult Bossian before we proceed further. Looks like we'll take a short break then, eh? If you find yourself wanting for another weapon though, just come and speak with me helper here. I believe we can do that. I think I've earned myself a nice flagon of ale tonight to celebrate the fortune, of course. Well, hopefully there's some in supply there for you. And so with that, we complete this quest and receive the Dry Sack Lance. A repeated quest is now available from Zlatan and Gangos. This quest may be accepted to create resistance weapons for other jobs. Please ensure you've changed to your desired job before speaking with Zlatan. Furthermore, Thavnarian scale powder can now be purchased from Oriana Revenant's Toll or his Mena at Idleshire. And with that, we earn the achievement Piece de Resistance Dryzak. Yeah, let's see if there's any achievements or titles associated with these. Because they were for the original relic weapons. Okay, and there's no title gain for the Bozia incident completion. That's fine. Well, I do have another opportunity because, given that we need to get more of the scale powder, I can get another weapon tonight. Because Shinji has enough tomestones of poetics to be able to get another one. So, what do you say we go ahead and do just that? And, given that we are helping out the Gunholder's blades, and given how much the Bozia is about the Gunbreaker, I'd say we switch to that. Yeah, with the OG Warrior of Light armor on, no less. Let's go and speak with Zlatan again. So, we want to do this as a Gunbreaker, but the quest resistance is not futile. Zlatan is gravely concerned about the potential cost of forging additional resistance weapons. We shall forge another resistance weapon. We do have a surplus of materials from the first, but there still remains the matter of the powder. When we first resolved to undertake the forging of these weapons, we understood it would come at a considerable cost, but it is no exaggeration to say that a single weapon has greatly taxed our coffers. It shames me to ask this after you've done so much for our cause, but might we prevail upon you to procure the powder on our behalf? Hopefully acquiring the means to barter for additional powder shouldn't be too taxing a task for a worldly adventurer such as yourself. So, let's go ahead and get ourselves another weapon. So, we will go ahead and take their advice. We will warp over to Remnant's Toll. It'll cost me the same amount of gil no matter which direction I go. Provide the details on what these weapons have as far as stats are concerned. But before we do that, let's go over to Oriana and speak with her. We want to go into the special arms menu and get some more Thavnarian scale powder. We can have as one for 250 tomestones. In this instance, we'll take 4 for 1,000 because we do require 4. We now have the required amount, so let's now take it back. Alright, and we have returned. Let's give the scale powder to Zlatan. I take it you'll pay visit to the House of Splendors? Indeed we have. We got 4 more units of scale powder for you. Here you go. Excellent, I will have Master Gelt set to work at once. Yeah. Hey there, Gelt. It's time for round 2. Linen will rain its pockets again. Or linen, rather. Better your coin than the Bozans, I suppose. If you're sure about this, we'll get to finishing your weapon. Do it. Yeah, time for you to team up again. Yeah, have at it there, Geralt. And so this time, this is what we're getting. So best luck if I do say so myself. And what's it called? Oh, Crown's Blade. Yeah, it doesn't help that the text is in purple. It makes it hard to read. Yeah, now we have a bonafide Bozyan Gunblade. Yeah, Zlatan approves. If what we learned about the blades of Gunhild is true, you can make them stronger depending on what manner monster you felled with them. Should hold true for yours as well. So once you put her through her paces, come back and we'll see about toughening her up. Oh, we can do something like that? So that will take the Gun's Blade, known as Crown's Blade. So yeah, on one night, Shinji gets 2 of these. Piece de Resistance, Crown's Blade achieved. So yeah, let's go ahead and sample these weapons, shall we? Now that we have 2 of them. Yeah, obviously we'll give the Crown's Blade to him since he's on Gunbreaker. As you can see, this is a 485 item level weapon, and something you don't see on a weapon very often, or any piece of other armor for that matter, 5 materia slots. 5 of them. So yeah, suffice it to say that that is a big deal. Definitely helps if you're tiding over for 490 when you're doing Eden and trying to get the 7 weekly pieces out of that battle when you're fighting Reen playing the role of Shiva. And then of course it also creates the dilemma of, is the 490 going to be better than this 485? It'll certainly be a dilemma for sure. Then of course we also got our brand new Dragoon weapon, the Dryzak. Go ahead and equip that. So yeah, this is not only now going to be the new weapon that Shinji is going to be wielding for the time being, but it's also now going to be our permanent glamour. Once we get a stronger lance, this will become the new look. I know after 5 long years of the Gay Bolg serving as the Dragoon relic weapon in our primary weapon glamour that it's done very good and it's served its purpose very well, but the time has come for us to embrace the Resistance and their new relic weapons along with it. So we'll be doing exactly that with our other Warriors of Light, our other Dragoons who come through, and of course Mathia and Corinne will also be upgrading to these as well. So you can expect to see a lot of these. Plus, since of course Mathia is getting level 80 on everything, that means you guys will get to see every single one of these Resistance weapons. You will get to see the full arsenal before the next expansion comes out, and I really cannot wait to see how every single relic weapon looks. But of course, we'll see what happens as we continue to grind, but it also gives me more of an excuse to grind for Tomestones of Poetics, because that means more scale powder, that means more Resistance weapons that you guys get to see. So yeah, you can definitely look forward to it when we get to streaming this game again, but of course, what's coming up in a couple of days. So tomorrow we will be going back to Persona 5 as we are getting ready to prepare for sending Makoto, with an A, back over to the area where she needs to have a bank issue written off, as it were. And I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. And then, after that, on Thursday and Friday, it will be the original and remakes version of Final Fantasy VII. And so, yeah, with the sunlight coming down, I think it makes sense that we try and get this into as much light as possible, so that we can get to see the Dryzak in all of its badass splendor. So, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers Live. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow night for more Persona 5 as we make our way back into the crazy bank. So, thank you very much everyone for watching, and until next time everyone, may you ever walk in the light of the crystal.